Welcome back to Living from the Inside Out, Life in the Spiritual Lane. I'm Anne Marie, and today's guest is Eric LerReste with me from Montreal. Uh, really wonderful to have you here, Eric.
Thank you, Anne-Marie. Very, very happy to be with you.
So, today's topic is going to be about staying light. It's so appropriate that this would happen the morning after a federal election where I think all shades of the spectrum have been explored, dark
Hmm.
and light. And it's wonderful to be here with Eric because you've had a really long and illustrious, if I may say, journalistic career with Radio Canada, everything from newsroom to uh, producer to documentarian, co-founder of a show. So a really long time career, a lot of complexity in journalism and ever more complexity, I think, as the years rolled on. And you also, in your spare time,
Hmm.
coordinate all of the Brahma Kumaris activities here in Canada. So uh, it's a lot on that plate. And so that's why the topic of staying light. How do you um, how do you stay light when the responsibilities are so great and in many cases so public? Um, yeah, let's start there.
Hmm. Well, thanks for bringing the topic. I think this is a big issue for people now. It's being heavy, and as much physically sometimes as well, that people are never happy with their weight, but also mentally, everything can become such a big burden. And I know when the state of mind is not good, just going doing groceries, just doing some cleaning at home, just calling your mother-in-law, or just, feeding the cat could be a little bit heavy for no reason. And I find that I was very, very, I don't know what happened to me, but for a long, long time, everybody keep telling me all the time, "Oh, Eric, you're always so light and you seem to be so light." Sometimes, to be honest, I'm a little bit, worrying, but it just doesn't show up. People think that still I'm very, very light, and I probably am compared to average people. I find it's really about mostly perspective. Like what do you see and how do you see it? For some people, a small thing appear to be like a mountain, and for other people, the mountain can be transformed into a small little thing. So it's really a perspective. How do you position? Maybe it's also because I was on television and I love camera effects. You can see something very, very near, but you zoom out and you realize it's actually very, very small in the big picture. So I love a picture I saw recently where the person is looking at a big balloon and then it says, "This is the size of the problem." But if you look at the big picture and the person stands up, actually the ball is very, very small. It's just that the person was looking at it very, very, very close and felt it was a big thing, but actually the reality is not such a big thing. So I find for me it's a lot about perspective. Something big happened and I ask myself, is it really big or am I making it big? What would I think about it in 5 years from now? And I know most of the time in 5 years, I'm just going to, my worst experiences in life that I went through many, many years ago today are the most entertaining stories that I tell people to make them laugh. And I tell them, you know, and I tell them a story, which is a terrible story. Things that happened to me that were not really, really pleasant at the time it happened. But years later, they become actually very entertaining stories. So why not making them entertaining when they happen? Why wait 10 years to finally see what they are, and they are actually just stories. So I think a big factor in being light to me is about perspective, and it's the law of relativity. It's like everything is relative. Yeah, it's so important. People, I used to work in a newsroom. Every day people will come, "Eric, this is very, very, very important." I say, "Yes, it's important to you. But is it really important to the world?" And just breathe, zoom out, and look at it with a different perspective. So we can talk about it for an hour, but just in short, I would say perspective is definitely the first ingredient for me.
That's a great ingredient to start with. And if we stick with that for a moment, then what are some of the things that we can do to right size our perspective, to have the ability to zoom out and look at things from a different way with a different lens? Because I think when we're in the middle of it, you can get quite stuck in that perspective, quite stuck in that story. Any tips, any tricks that you've used to make it possible to zoom out, to have that bigger view?
Mm. Well, I think this is the great gift we get when we learn, this Raj Yoga. It's like understanding certain laws of life are very useful. If you're stuck in, let's say, your car is not working and you're driving on a highway and suddenly there's noise and you're getting worried, you put your car on the side. Well, I'm zero in mechanic, just to look intelligent man, alpha guy, I will come out of my car, open the hood and look very seriously. Oh, yes. I have no idea what's going on under the hood. I barely even know what is what. I can't do anything. But if I'm a mechanic and the car breaks down, I open the hood and I really understand what are all the wires all about. And so for a mechanic, a car breaking down is no big deal. But for someone who doesn't understand mechanic, the car breaking down is a big deal. So life for me is the same. Is do I understand the laws of life? Do I understand the law of action reaction? Whatever happens, happens for a reason. There's no mistake in life. There's no event that take place for no reason. There's a reason for it. It just happened to me. I have a great mantra. My mantra for me is I don't lose things and I don't break things. I don't know why, but I kept having that thought. And for years and years and years, I'm always surprised that I don't lose things. And just yesterday, or yeah, day before yesterday or yesterday, I thought I lost my earbuds, for listening to music. They're a little bit expensive. And I went doing a few things and then I realized I lost them. And I thought, okay, I looked everywhere, here and there. I went back to a few places and realized I think this time I really lost it. And then I was a bit disappointed, thinking, oh, I'm breaking my big thing for years. I never lost anything. Now I won't be able to do anything. I won't be able to say I don't lose anything. So anyway, I said, no big deal. It's just earbuds. You can buy another one. No big deal. Bye-bye. And I really settled it. It didn't take me more than a few hours. Settle it. No big deal. Happy. Don't make it a big deal. And today I went to go somewhere and I entered my car and I opened the door and I knew when I lost my earbuds, I also lost some chewing gum, a little pack of chewing gum. And I realized if I see the chewing gum and the earbuds are not there, somebody took them. So I opened the door of my car and what do I see? The pack of chewing gum. So I thought, oh. And I looked, and yes, of course, the earbuds. And I looked everywhere, but they were right there in the car. And I was so happy thinking, oh, I didn't break my promise. I don't lose things. I don't break things. And I was so happy I didn't worry about it. And I was so happy that I didn't, it's okay. It's no big deal. This is just earbuds. It's no big deal. And I felt, oh, they were just testing me. That was just a little test to see, do I really have faith? Because last night I really had the thought, you'll find them. They will show up. But technically, how can they show up? I mean, anyone who finds these little earbuds, I don't have my name, my phone number, they should keep it. They're very good ones. They should keep it. They were right in the car. So, understanding nothing happens for nothing. There's a purpose. And so, if there's a purpose in whatever happens, I should be intrigued. I should be exploring. I should be searching. I should be feeling, this is a good riddle. What's the kind of what's the riddle all about? Where, those who do, how do you call it in English, crosswords?
Hmm.
I'm zero in crosswords, but I find the question is so weird sometimes, three legs, no hair, never see anything. What? People love it, they like to find what's the riddle. This is what life is all about. It's just like whatever happens, it's just a little, it's like a treasure hunt, it's a trick that should make you think, okay, what's behind it? And I know sometimes things are dramatic. Yeah, sometimes it could be a bad news, but maybe even the bad news is going to shape me into someone stronger. I can learn resilience. I can learn forgiveness. I can learn letting go. And sometimes to learn these big lessons in life, big things happen. But they're only big because we make them big. Because if we understand the law of spirituality behind it, they are gifts. They are not, we say they're not a kind of storm. They're more like a gift, and they come to show you the way to move forward. If you don't want to move forward, they will look like an obstacle. But if you want to move forward, they look like, a stepping stone, helping you to get going and get higher.
Right. So that's a change, a significant change in perspective right there. Is it an obstacle? Is it a burden? Is it a blockage? Or is it a stepping stone to something that maybe I don't even know I need to learn? Yeah, that's really, really
Yeah.
interesting. So,
And we know it may sound a little bit cliche because I
mm,
know this is common new age thoughts, oh, everything comes to you as a gift. But if we believe that I'm meant to grow, if I'm a seed, if I see myself as a seed, and if the seed was living, the seed will be able to tell you, I'm not a seed. I'm going to be a tree. But because we don't understand the journey, we only look at ourselves sometimes as a little thing and then think, well, that's who I am. I'm a bud. You're not a bud. The bud is meant to open up and to become an amazing flower. But if I don't understand that law, I won't take the lessons coming to me in order to move forward.
a seed that is meant to grow. That's beautiful. Um, yeah, I love that. So so just to stay on that for a second. So if I'm a seed that's meant to grow and I I'm successful at managing, things that come up in my life and I am able to embrace a certain amount of lightness. What happens? You said, sometimes big things happen. What happens when something really dark happens or difficult? And I think of some of the very heavy feelings that exist in the world right now because of world situations and how they can feel so overwhelming. How do people manage some of those bigger things? Is that perspective as well? Do they have to dig a little bit deeper when it gets taken out of the personal to to issues that affect the whole world, for instance?
Well, I believe that we're all potentially alchemists. And one of my power as a being, as a living being, is to transform iron into gold. And I've always felt that the darker the test I have to overcome or succeed or pass, the bigger, the darker the test, the brighter and the greater will be the growth and the feeling I have when I pass the test. And I went through really heavy things in my life as well, even as a yogi. It's not I didn't go through anything major, even professionally, to be stabbed in the back, to be defamed, to be publicly defamed, even in the media, accused of something I didn't do. These are things that, it's easy to say, oh, yeah, I'll stay light and easy and happy. No, this is a big test. And sometimes it took me 2, 3 days to figure it out. It's not like you stay light right away. I mean, you're hit by a truck, yeah, you have to acknowledge the process. I have to, how to say mourn. I have to do sometime a little, I have to die. It's not pleasant, but yeah, I'll come back, I'll grow up again. I'll resurrect from my death. I went through many, many deaths in my spiritual life, big ones. And I find that, yes, I'm glad that I was equipped. I had information, I had knowledge, understanding. It's just that the shift from understanding to being, that's where most people fail. I know. People say, yeah, be positive. I know. But they can't be positive. Be light. Yeah, I know, but I can't be light. Don't take it personal. Yeah, I know, but I'm still taking it personal. So everybody knows or think they know, but the way they know it is not rooted in the awareness of what really I'm going through. So it's just, oh, I should be positive. Oh, I should not worry. Oh, I should be kind and I should forgive. It's I should. But it's not the way it's going to happen. It's only happening when the I should is really actually I want. And I am going to because I know this is my process. This is what I want to do. Little example. I mean, it's not a big deal, but I'm crazy about tennis. I love tennis. Everybody knows it. I'm always talking about tennis. I play tennis. I'm injured at the moment. One of my knee has, I think when I decided to retire, I think my body didn't understand and my knees retired. And I said, no, 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 no. You don't retire. You're going to play tennis until you die. So my knee is not working. It's very painful. I had a lot of, physical pain. I hate doing exercise. I don't like, doing this exercise. But now I have no choice. I haven't played tennis for a month. So I just went today to a physiotherapist and yeah, okay, I know I'm not going to be playing for another few months. So am I going to suffer from the process and the exercise? Or am I going to shift my awareness, understand what I'm going through and feel actually it's good. What's happening to me is very good because what I'm going to do now is not just fix a problem. I'm going to build muscle. I'm going to fix something I should have done a long time ago. So I can play for the next 20 years. So suddenly it's not, I should do something or I don't like it, but I should do it. No, it's like, I want to do it because now I look at it differently. I'm planning my next 20 years on the tennis court, not repairing a problem. So it's shifting again, understanding, but the knowledge should be really rooted in something much deeper. And I find that when we face like major situations, like really, really bad ones, it's okay to accept the process of, I always felt before you be a god, you have to be a dog, and the dogs, you have to accept. You couldn't be a god just like that. Accept going first through the dog stage. And what do dogs do when they suffer? You know, they just go easy and they take time to just quiet down and they don't try to play tennis. I mean, I've never seen a dog playing tennis, but if he's injured, he's not going to try to do anything. He's going to accept the faith of having to take a time to go within, like we sometimes talk about the turtle, you have to just go back within, figure it out, and then you come out. So the phases are very important. So the bigger and the darker the situation, I have to understand that this is the exact situation that can make me the brightest and the greatest on the journey. And if I accept that, then I will want to learn. I would want to use that lesson. I lost my dad a year ago. And I had such a strong experience that I saw him. I was right in front of him. He left the body. And this is my dad, I love him. And you are still a little boy, even in your 60s. This is the only person you call Papa, which is it's a little boy who calls somebody Papa, or a little girl will call somebody Papa. He's still your Papa, even if he's 90 and you're 60. This is my only Papa. I have only one. And when he leaves, he was right in front of me, the last breath, and then he's gone. And I felt really, my experience was there was a crossroad. And I really felt, oh, wow, I have two options. And the first one was calling me, come, cry, suffer, mourn, weep, feel how bad it is to lose your father. And it's valid. I'm not saying this is not good. It is valid. This is my dad. I lost my dad. I'm allowed to go that way and feel the pain and feel I'm mourning my dad. But then there was another light. There was another path showing to me saying, you can come the other side, which is very different. Be by at the side of your dad. Be by his side. Hold his hand. Smile. Tell him everything is fine. Go with him in the light. Everything is fine. Be with him on the journey and be free. And he doesn't want you to suffer. He wants you to help him to go through whatever he's going through. So just
Mhm.
be
Yeah.
light, be easy about it. Be light, be natural, be, hey, dad, it's okay. I'm by your side. You'll never leave me. You're not leaving me. And I'm never going to leave you. You're going to be always here. Whenever I need you, I know you'll be here. So I felt those two trajectories. And I felt I like this one much better. But there was a temptation. There was a real pull to go the other way. And I felt, no, I want to go the other way and I want to pass my test. This is a big test. You lose your dad only once. There's only one mom, one dad. And when you lose your parents, this is a big, big test in life. And I felt I want to be, next to my dad and give him love, be with him, hold him. And yeah, and just enjoy the process. Enjoy in a sense like I'm aware something big happens. But I
Mhm.
want to be by his side and be strong and be light. Yeah, I want to stay light. I don't want to be burdened by death. So things could be heavy, but I'm the alchemist. I can transform the darkest iron into the brightest gold. I mean, this is what I believe, and that's what we practice.
I have such a sense as you're speaking of the very deep self awareness that you must have to be able to. It's almost like it sounds like time is slowed down in some ways because you're seeing things in a very aware way as they're unfolding in front of you. I can imagine your dad leaving the body, the period of time that that unfolded, but what you were able to see and experience and access as all of that was unfolding. So is a deep self-awareness an important part of being a good alchemist? What are the tools that you need to be able to practice this alchemy?
Yeah, self-awareness is something we really develop over time. And to me, the self remains a mystery. I know in Raj Yoga we make it simple. I'm a soul, I'm a spiritual being, I'm eternal, I'm not physical, so I'm beyond the physics of matter and time. Okay, I believe that in a sense I could understand the reality of it. It's not just a belief, but my mind is not physical. That's not a belief. That's kind of an acceptable reality. But the awareness is a very, very long-term discovery. And I think that, yes, maybe there is a lot of self-awareness, but I think there's also the, how to say, the enthusiasm, the thrill, the excitement of discovery. I really feel I'm Indiana Jones. I don't know if that's his name, Indiana Jones,
Yeah, yeah,
it's,
I know exactly who you mean. Yeah.
I'm the
Raiders of the
Indiana
Lost Ark.
Jones.
Yeah.
I know there is a secret gold statue somewhere to be found in the jungle. And that secret gold statue is me. I'm looking for me. I'm searching for myself. And in Buddhism, I don't know if it's true, but I heard one day that in Buddhism, they say if you think you found the Buddha, kill him. Means your ego will make you think you got it, but you never get it. Life is a journey. And until the end, we will discover things about the self. So the process is not so much about, yes, self-awareness is one thing, but it's the thrill, the enthusiasm, the excitement that whatever I'm going through is all about one thing. It's finding that little magic gold statue hidden between the snakes and the demons and the forest and the adventurers and whatever Indiana Jones has to go through. This is what life is all about. And when we take it too seriously, that's when we suffer. If we take it on a first degree and we see, oh, this is happening, I mean, big things are happening in the world today. I used to work in the news every day, 10 screens in front of me, throwing up the garbage of the world where the horror, I mean, if we just go 1 minute into what happens in the world today, you are sick. I mean, I will become sick, discouraged, hopeless, angry, enraged. I mean, you look at what is being done to people, to innocent women and children and nature. If I look at it on the way that it is, I would become enraged. Honestly, I know myself, I mean, the old self, I would not be able to accept it. I would be angry because this is terrible what's going on. And if you look at our neighbors in the south, I mean, you think every day the news are like, it's the first time in my life as a news person. It's the first time I feel the news are hitting me like a rifle. How do you say an automatic rifle? I feel like boo, 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 every day. I feel I'm being thrown bullets. And I'm so glad I can suddenly say, whoa, 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 wait a minute. I have a firewall here. I need a firewall. And that firewall is what's going on here? Take a distance, return into a perspective. Yes, self-awareness, but look at it differently, sit differently, dispassionate the whole thing. What am I going to learn through this? Who am I going to become with this? Like this is terrible thing happening. I can feel terrible, or I can say this, if I use it properly, is going to make me go one step higher. And what I understand today is in front of this terrible situation we're seeing in the world, I need to become such a better person. I need to become the lighthouse. I mean, if there's a storm, you need a lighthouse on the sea. Otherwise, everybody dies in the rocks. So who is going to be a lighthouse? The one angry shooting back with his rifle? The one, being consumed with hate and vengeance and waste and toxic mind? Can't be a lighthouse. So the worse it is outside, the more I feel I have to be, you know, compassionate. I have to be peaceful. I have to give people energy of something positive. Otherwise, there's no hope. So who is going to be the hope? So even the darkest thing, to me, I can be the alchemist and change it into no, I need to be somebody. I need to give an example. I need to be here for my friends who are panicking. I have friends calling me really with anxiety saying, Eric, I'm just afraid we're going to see the army showing up at the border. And I have a son. He's just 12. I don't want to see a war. And I feel, and I know they're serious. They're really feeling threatened. And we're in Canada. How can we ever imagine one day that somebody will want to eat you up, and conquer your land, what they're doing in Ukraine? So, yes, I'm very aware of the world and what's going through, but I have to be the lighthouse. And if I'm not light, how am I going to help other people not to be totally crushed by the world? So we need light and we need to remain light if we want to help people to see the perspective and appreciate. In winter, apples don't grow in the apple tree. It's okay. This is winter. So in winter, don't expect the apple to be red and crunchy and beautiful and juicy in the apple tree. It's going to fall. It's going to, how to say, mold, or it's going to deteriorate. That's winter. It's all right. Sorry, I talk a lot and I get
Oh,
totally.
it's absolutely wonderful. Absolutely
Yeah.
wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much. I mean, um, I think that you've given some wonderful images, some very practical images, the image of the lighthouse, the image of the alchemist, the seed, all of which I think help with that thing that you said at the very beginning, which is to adopt a new perspective. What am I in this situation? What role do I play in this situation? Um, and uh, and we need that right now.
Mm. But
Yeah.
I'll probably end with the last little tip.
Mm,
I'll tell you my secret.
please,
How to really, really, really stay light. But it's a French secret. So you'll have to learn two French words.
I'm
And they
ready.
rhyme beautifully, but you will understand it very, very easily because amour, everybody knows what it is, right? So it's a very easy word in French. Love, amour is a beautiful word. And lightness has also a lot to do with love. It's not just that lightness is about, I distance myself, okay, and okay, this is good. But love helps us to be really, really, really light because love is a powerful energy. But love combined with amour and humour. So humour is humor. And we always say, one day I was sharing and I think I was getting a little bit crazy with my thoughts and I was having fun. I was just having a lot of fun sharing about something. And I was talking a lot about God, and how God is amazing and this and that. He's my wife, he's my friend, he's my child, he's my teacher. And I was making a lot of jokes, I guess. So one person came at the end of the lecture to me and he says, wow, I always knew God was love, but I didn't know he was humor. So in French, it was, I knew God is amour, but I didn't know he was humour. And I thought that is such a beautiful compliment that he didn't feel it was coming from me, but he felt that maybe God has a good sense of humor. And that's why he stays a little bit light too. Otherwise, you can't cope with this world. So I would say, yeah, the last thing, if nothing else works, try love, amour, and humour. And if you try that combo, it's like ice cream with two flavor. It works very, very well. And amour and humour, they go together very, very well. In French, in English, in Spanish, in German, any language will make love and humor go along very, very well together. And that helps a lot to stay light, I think.
Perfect. Thank you so much. What a great place to end. Two great words to take with us uh, into our days, into our weeks. Thank you so much, Eric, for your time. Thank you so much for your wonderful stories and your wonderful perspective.
Thank you, Anne Marie. Pleasure being with you.